Good morning. How are we all doing today? This is your weekly update. I wanted to give you a quick reflection before I go into a couple of exciting announcements. First of all, I was thinking about the Sermon on the Mount this week when Jesus talks about you are salt and you are light. And I've often thought, what does that mean? In the ancient world, salt was used somewhat for taste, but more so for preserving meat to stave off decay. And I think some of us are tempted to say, well, then obviously this must mean that we are right. And then, of course, light meaning truth, being synonymous with truth. They're exposing the things that were in darkness so one can see to move about. And it's easy to say, well, as Christians in this nation, we are the salt and light. And I hope that's true, but I don't think it just means being right, right? You ever met somebody that just, I'm right. I'm the knower, I'm right, right? I think being intentional in stopping decay, being the salt in people's lives. As we pass people all through, we're reflecting on the North American mission offering, which makes us think a lot about our fellow countrymen, but let's just talk about our fellow Tennesseans. I was looking at stats, listened to a preacher this week, hope he did his homework right, and he works for TBC, so I'm going to say he did. He said 67% of Tennesseans are lost and don't know Jesus Christ. That's 67%. That means there's 67% of Tennesseans, 1 out of 2, so roughly, you go to the store, almost 7 out of 10 people that you're shopping with in the grocery store don't know Jesus as their Lord and Savior. Are we being an intentional salt in their life, right? They have problems. The Bible tells us the rain falls on the just and the unjust. Are we meeting them where they are? And are we being intentional about helping to stop the decay in the world that is falling apart around them? Are being light and truth to them, right? Are we reflecting Christ to them, being intentional about being in their lives? Or do we prefer just to sit back and let them come to us and they know where we are? There's an intentionality that comes with preserving and stopping that. So that's just some thoughts I had this week to think about as we think about making an impact in the lostness in this nation, and particularly the lostness right here in our own neighborhood. I have some great news. Our church app is now launched. Look here. Can you see it right there? Right there. Boom. Grace Baptist Church, our church logo. If you'll type in Elizabethton Grace Baptist Church in your app store, you'll find it. Constance sent out a video this week. If you'd like more information, email our church and we'll let you know. It's elizabethtongrace@gmail.com. This week we're going to have the Lord's Supper, so everybody be prepared to take the Lord's Supper. And in addition to that, I want to remind you that we're taking up a local missions benevolence offering with that. We do this every time we do the Lord's Supper, and that goes to fund different things. I'm going to share with you one thing that deacons decided to do recently. Somebody came to us and said, we really think we should do something for our healthcare workers the health department that is distributing the vaccines. And so we used that benevolence money to purchase them lunch. And we fed some 30 people that work there, one of which being our church member here at the church. So we're using that money for local missions. We use it to help our local high school football teams, taking them snacks, taking them the gospel, helping them in so many different ways. So we use that local benevolence money for all these different venues. So you come in there. And then another thing we do is we help church members in need. The Bible tells us in Acts that when the church gathered together, no one was without. So we use that money for that as well. So you pray this week, be prepared to take the Lord's Supper as we reflect going into the season of Easter. And we're very excited. We're going to have a couple combined services, so we'll get to be one church in one room together there. And instead of being separated by times and locations there for 2 weeks, one with a musical where they're going to sing the gospel. And then on Easter Sunday, we're going to have a sunrise service like we had before. We'll have breakfast, and then we'll have a combined worship that morning following Sunday school 9 and 10. So we'll be praying for these things. All things are looking forward to that. Appreciate all the prayers and phone calls. Had some kind of weird virus this week, but had a fever like all weekend. I don't know what happened with that. Some kind of sinus congestion thing, but doing better now. Thank you all, and I hope you all have a wonderful week. I look forward to seeing you Sunday morning as we talk about how Jesus helps and heals us. So I hope you'll be there for that when we take a closer look